On the sun-drenched Galilean hillside, a vast crowd gathers, their faces eager with anticipation. Marcus, a Roman tribune, observes Jesus intently, his expression thoughtful, as Decimus voices his disdain. "Just a rabble, tribune," Marcus muses, his gaze fixed on Jesus. "There's something different about him, Decimus." "Something," Jesus begins to speak, his voice carrying over the multitude. "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Mount Sinai vanishes behind roiling black smoke, the sky ablaze with jagged lightning. Fear grips the Israelites at the mountain's base, tiny figures dwarfed by divine power. Moses begins his solitary ascent, his face a mask of unwavering resolve. The air crackles, charged with an energy that transcends the mortal realm. A booming voice echoes from the heavens. "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt. You shall have no other gods before me." The voice thunders, shaking the very foundations of the earth. Inside the Jerusalem temple, Jesus surveys the scene. Merchants profiting, money changers at their tables. Rage ignites in Jesus' eyes as he witnesses the blatant desecration of the sacred temple. With righteous fury, Jesus overturns tables, scattering coins and merchandise across the floor. "My house will be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers," Jesus proclaims. Nathanael, a Pharisee, watches with clenched fists, his face contorted with fury at the disruption. Inside the Jerusalem temple, the air is heavy with incense as Nathanael strides forward, indignation burning in his eyes. He confronts Caiaphas, the high priest, his face a mask of righteous anger amidst the temple's hushed whispers. He blasphemes Caiaphas. Jesus sets himself as a god. "He violates the first commandment," Nathanael declares. Caiaphas listens, his expression unreadable, his power absolute in the sacred space. "Patience, Nathanael," Caiaphas replies, his voice calm against Nathanael's fury. "The people are with him. We must be cautious," he warns, a hint of calculation in his tone. A somber funeral procession snakes through the dusty Galilean streets, villagers lining the path with grief-stricken faces. Jesus approaches, his gaze drawn to the weeping widow, her sorrow a palpable weight in the air. His eyes soften with compassion as he beholds the bier carrying the deceased son. A sense of profound peace radiates from Jesus as he steps forward, defying the pall of death. With gentle resolve, Jesus touches the bier, a silent promise hanging in the charged atmosphere. His voice rings with divine authority. "Young man, I say to you, get up." In the Galilean village, Mary Magdalene stands amidst the crowd, her face etched with disbelief. Tears stream down her face as she witnesses the miracle, her eyes wide with awe. She is overwhelmed by the sheer power she has just witnessed, a life reborn before her. A question forms on her lips, a whispered plea for understanding in the stunned silence. "Who is this man that can give life?" she asks, her voice trembling with emotion and wonder. The crowd stirs, their faces reflecting a mix of hope, fear, and the undeniable truth of the miracle. A barren landscape stretches to the foot of Mount Sinai, its peak piercing the sky. In the distance, Israelites dance around a golden calf, firelight glinting on their faces. The golden calf gleams, an idol born of fear and impatience under the mountain's shadow. A voice echoes from the heavens. "You shall not make for yourself an idol." Sunlight pierces the synagogue's heights, illuminating dust motes, and expectant faces turn toward Jesus. Jesus stands, his expression earnest, conviction blazing in his eyes as the congregation leans in, breathless. The air crackles with anticipation, a silent question hanging as Jesus prepares to speak. "You have heard it said," Jesus begins, his voice resonating through the sacred space. Under the blazing sun, a bustling temple courtyard buzzes with murmurs as a disheveled woman is dragged forward. Stern-faced accusers, stones clutched in their hands, stand ready to enforce the law, their eyes fixed on the woman. Jesus kneels, his expression unreadable, and deliberately begins to write in the dust, defying the tense atmosphere. The murmuring intensifies as the accusers press Jesus for judgment, demanding justice in the sacred space. Jesus looks up, his voice cutting through the noise. "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." In the temple courts, shame hangs heavy as the accusers, heads bowed, retreat one by one, their steps slow with exposed hypocrisy. Dust settles as the last figure vanishes into the crowd, leaving an echoing silence. Jesus asks, his voice gentle yet firm, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" The woman replies softly, "No one, sir." Jesus responds with grace, "Then neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin." Shadows flicker across the upper room, casting long shapes on the walls as Jesus sits with his disciples. A heavy silence fills the air. With a profound sadness in his eyes, Jesus lifts the loaf of bread, a solemn gesture in the dimly lit space. His voice, soft yet resonant, breaks the silence. "Take and eat. This is my body given for you." He continues, his words imbued with a sense of finality. "This is my blood, poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." Dim light dances across the faces in the upper room, shadows betraying the rising tension. Peter declares with fervent conviction, "I will never fall away. I will lay down my life for you, Jesus." Jesus responds, his voice heavy with sorrow, "Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." His words hang in the air, a chilling prophecy amidst the flickering candlelight. Under the vast, indifferent night, Jesus kneels in Gethsemane, his face a canvas of anguish and despair. His voice, a whisper against the looming darkness, pleads, "Not my will, but yours be done." The distant clatter of soldiers shatters the stillness, a harbinger of betrayal and impending doom. From the shadows, Judas emerges, his face a tormented mask of conflicted duty and hidden regret. Judas's kiss, a prearranged signal, seals Jesus' fate in a moment of bitter irony and profound loss. Torches ignite the night as soldiers surge forward, their long, dancing shadows closing in. In Gethsemane, under the cold gaze of the moon, Peter's eyes ignite with fury, his face a mask of righteous anger. Steel sings as Peter's sword flashes, a swift arc of defiance against the night. The high priest's servant cries out, his scream echoing through the garden as blood blooms on his hands. Silence descends, heavy and sudden, as all eyes turn, drawn to Jesus in the aftermath of violence. Jesus' voice cuts through the quiet, a plea and a command. "Peter, put your sword away." A question hangs in the air, heavy with destiny. "Shall I not drink the cup the Father has given me?" Under the cloak of night in Gethsemane, a Roman detachment stands guard, their armor gleaming faintly in the dim light. Marcus, the commander, observes the unfolding scene with a gaze of growing astonishment. He is struck by Jesus' quiet strength, a stark contrast to the chaos of the arrest. The commander witnesses a profound display of compassion from Jesus towards his captors. Marcus's hardened expression softens, a flicker of understanding crossing his face in the darkness. The scene unfolds, leaving Marcus in silent contemplation of the man before him. In Pilate's courtyard, Peter huddles by the fire, shadows playing across his anxious face. A servant girl's eyes narrow, suspicion growing as she confronts him. "You were with Jesus, weren't you?" Peter recoils, fear flashing in his eyes as he denies any connection. "Woman, I don't know him." Desperation rising, he insists, "I tell you I am not." His voice strained with mounting dread. Cornered and terrified, Peter makes a final denial. "Man, I know not what thou sayest." His fate hanging in the balance. A rooster's cry pierces the air as Roman guards lead Jesus through Pilate's courtyard, the rough stone under their sandaled feet. Jesus turns, his gaze meeting Peter's across the crowded courtyard. A silent, weighty moment passing between them. Peter breaks, a sob tearing from his throat as the weight of betrayal crashes down upon him. He collapses onto a cold stone bench, his body racked with uncontrollable grief. Tears stream down Peter's face, a torrent of anguish and regret for what he's done. In the praetorium, Pilate, a stern Roman governor, assesses Jesus with a piercing gaze, seeking any sign of defiance. Marcus, a Roman centurion, watches intently, sensing an unusual calm emanating from Jesus amidst the tension. Pilate's voice cuts through the silence, demanding an answer. "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus responds, his words measured and serene. "My kingdom is not of this world." Pilate studies Jesus, trying to understand the depth of his words. Marcus observes, a flicker of recognition in his eyes. The praetorium vibrates with frenzied energy, the crowd's faces contorted in anger. Caiaphas conducts the fury, their collective voice rising in a deafening roar. "Crucify him! We have no king but Caesar!" The crowd screams, their demand relentless. Pilate, weary, calls for water, his face etched with resignation. In a symbolic act, Pilate washes his hands, the water cascading down, a gesture of surrender. On Golgotha, Jesus hangs between two thieves, a stark figure against the harsh landscape. The sun beats down, casting long, cruel shadows across the scene of suffering. A sudden darkness begins to creep across the sky, an unnatural eclipse swallowing the light. The world is plunged into an eerie twilight, the air growing heavy with foreboding. The silhouettes of the crosses stand stark against the darkening horizon, a symbol of despair. An oppressive silence falls, broken only by the distant cries of mourners and the mournful wind. Under the relentless sun, Jesus strains against the rough wood of the cross, his body a silhouette against the stark sky. A multitude gathers, their faces a canvas of scorn and morbid curiosity, as Roman soldiers stand impassively by. Jesus' voice cuts through the air. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." A thief taunts him. "If you are the Christ, save yourself and us." Another thief, filled with remorse, pleads, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Under the harsh Golgotha sun, Jesus hangs on the cross, his eyes filled with divine compassion. At the foot of the cross, Mary Magdalene and John stand, their faces a mask of inconsolable grief. Tears stream down their faces, each drop a testament to their profound sorrow and unwavering faith. Jesus speaks, his voice weakened yet filled with grace. "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." His words offer solace amidst the agony, a promise of eternal peace to a broken world. Under the stark Golgotha sun, Jesus gazes with profound love at his mother. His eyes shift, finding John, a silent promise passing between them. With solemn tenderness, Jesus speaks, "Woman, here is your son." His voice, though strained, carries the weight of his final act. "Here is your mother." Under the relentless sun, Jesus strains against the rough wood, his face etched with pain. His voice, raw and powerful, cuts through the heavy silence. It is finished. A hush falls over the watching crowd, their faces a mixture of awe and fear. With finality, Jesus commits, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." His head falls, and the desolate landscape bears witness to the profound moment. Under the relentless sun, Marcus stands guard, his Roman armor gleaming against the dark wood of the cross. His face, etched with the harsh realities of war, begins to soften, the lines of cynicism fading. A profound shift occurs within him, a silent battle against years of hardened indifference. The weight of what he witnesses cracks his stoic facade, revealing a flicker of humanity. In a hushed tone, Marcus speaks, his voice carrying the weight of revelation. "Surely this man was the Son of God. As dawn breaks, Mary Magdalene arrives at the tomb, her silhouette stark against the awakening sky. The massive stone lies displaced, revealing the tomb's dark, gaping mouth, an ominous void in the rock. A gasp escapes her lips, her eyes wide with disbelief and fear. Something is terribly wrong. "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb," Mary cries, her voice echoing in the desolate morning air. As dawn breaks, Peter and John race towards the tomb, their breaths visible in the cold air. They arrive, breathless, and cautiously peer into the dark opening of the tomb. The tomb is empty, the rough stone illuminated by the soft morning light. Only the burial cloths remain, neatly folded, a silent testament to an inexplicable event. A beat of stunned silence as the reality of the empty tomb sinks in. Peter and John exchange bewildered glances, questions hanging unspoken in the air. At the tomb's mouth, Mary kneels, her body racked with silent sobs as dawn breaks. Pale pink and gold hues paint the awakening sky, casting a somber light on her grief. Her red, swollen eyes lift, focusing on a figure tending the nearby garden. Hope and desperation mix in her tear-streaked face as she speaks. Her voice, hoarse with sorrow, breaks the morning stillness. "Where have you taken him?" The gardener pauses, his expression unreadable in the dawn's ambiguous light. Dawn breaks, painting the tomb entrance in soft light. The stone is moved. An eerie stillness hangs in the air. A figure emerges, and a voice whispers, "Mary." Despair melts into overwhelming joy as she recognizes him. "Do not hold on to me," Jesus says. "Go instead to my brothers and tell them." Upon the mountain in Galilee, Jesus stands, his presence commanding the vast landscape before him. His disciples gather near, a mixture of awe and trepidation etched upon their faces as they behold the resurrected Christ. Radiant light emanates from him, a beacon of hope against the clear sky. Scars, stark reminders of his sacrifice, mark his hands and feet, telling a story of suffering and triumph. A profound silence falls over the mountain as the weight of the moment settles upon them all. Sunlight drapes the mountaintop in Galilee, where a soft breeze whispers through the trees. Jesus proclaims, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you." His voice resonates with promise. "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." On the mountain in Galilee, Jesus raises his hands, a serene blessing flowing towards his disciples. His expression, a beacon of peace, softens as he begins to ascend, defying gravity with gentle grace. A radiant light intensifies around him, casting a divine glow upon the awestruck faces below. Slowly, majestically, he rises into the heavens, becoming one with the ethereal sky. A cloud descends, veiling his ascent, carrying him upwards into the boundless expanse. On the mountain in Galilee, the disciples stand in awe, their faces reflecting dawning comprehension. Turning towards Jerusalem, they begin their descent, sandals stirring dust with each determined step. A palpable sense of purpose emanates from the group, a shared mission igniting their spirits. Their eyes shine with the light of the Holy Spirit, illuminating their path forward. Under the relentless sun, Marcus readies for departure, his movements sharp and efficient as he packs his weathered belongings. Sunlight flashes across the polished metal of his armor, a warrior preparing for a journey into the unknown. He pauses, his hand drawn to a small, simple wooden cross, a silent relic of a life beyond the Legion. Holding the cross, a fleeting emotion flickers across Marcus's face, a subtle hint of vulnerability. His grip tightens around the wooden cross, a silent promise or a burdened memory etched upon his face. Under the vast sky, Marcus stands resolute in the Roman garrison, his movements deliberate and careful. With focused intensity, he wraps the cross in soft cloth, concealing its form with reverence. Each fold of the cloth is a testament to his solemn purpose, a silent promise whispered to the heavens. He gently places the wrapped cross in his worn bag, securing it as a precious secret. The bag, now holding its sacred cargo, becomes a vessel of hope amidst the Roman military setting. Marcus adjusts the bag, its weight a tangible reminder of the journey and faith ahead. Under the vast sky, a Roman garrison stands, the heart of military might overseeing ancient Jerusalem. Marcus, a figure transformed, gazes out at the sprawling city, his eyes searching beyond the horizon. His face, etched with newfound purpose, he stands as a seeker, shedding his past like an old skin. Jerusalem stretches before him, a city of faith and conflict, now a canvas for Marcus's quest. The sun casts long shadows, symbolizing the dawn of a new journey for the Roman-turned seeker. On the Galilean hillside, bathed in the warm light of day, the scene unfolds, now tinged with Marcus's newfound understanding. The landscape stretches out, familiar yet different, seen through a lens of revelation and deeper meaning. Each detail, every shadow and highlight, carries a weight of unspoken knowledge, reshaping the initial perception. The air shimmers with the essence of rediscovery, as Marcus's perspective colors the idyllic setting with profound insight. A replay, not of events, but of understanding, transforming the ordinary hillside into a landscape of epiphany. Under a blazing sun, a stark landscape unfolds, the air shimmering with unseen power. This is Mount Sinai, ancient and imposing. Tiny figures gather at the mountain's base, their faces tilted upward in a mixture of awe and trembling fear. A sense of the divine hangs heavy in the air, palpable and overwhelming, as history is about to be etched in stone. The mountain looms, a silent witness to the unfolding drama, its peak lost in the blinding light. This is the giving of the law, a covenant forged in fire and faith, its echoes resonating through the ages. Sunbeams illuminate the Jerusalem Temple Hall, dust motes swirling in the sacred space. Jesus, eyes blazing with righteous fire, strides into the throng of merchants and money changers. Tables crash, coins scatter, and doves flutter in a storm of divine anger. A whirlwind of resolute action sweeps through the temple, fueled by unwavering purpose. The Galilean village awakens under the golden caress of the sun, life stirring in its humble heart. Dust motes swirl in the air, each one a tiny dancer in the grand ballet of daily life. Narrow, winding streets pulse with the rhythm of villagers at work, their movements a familiar song. Simple homes stand shoulder to shoulder, bearing silent witness to generations of stories. A timeless tableau unfolds, a scene of peace and simplicity etched against the Galilean sky. In the sunlit synagogue, Jesus stands with calm authority, dust motes dancing around him. Sunlight streams through the high windows, illuminating the ornate surroundings. His quiet intensity captivates the gathered crowd. Expressions shift from skepticism to understanding as they grasp his interpretation. Sunlight illuminates dust motes dancing in the temple courtyard, highlighting the ancient columns and the woman's despair. The adulterous woman trembles, tears streaking her face, a stark contrast to the ornate temple. She clutches a simple shawl, a shield against the judgment that lingers in the air. The crowd has dispersed, leaving her alone in the vast courtyard, a solitary figure in her shame. Flickering candlelight casts long shadows, illuminating faces etched with solemnity in the upper room. A palpable tension fills the air, heavy with unspoken sacrifice and impending destiny. Each flicker of the flame seems to emphasize the gravity of their final gathering. The weight of forgiveness hangs in the balance, a silent promise amidst the flickering light. Solemn faces reflect in the dim light. Sacrifices in the air, beneath ancient olive trees, bathed in moonlight. Jesus kneels, a solitary figure against the weight of destiny. His face, etched with sorrow, is lifted towards the heavens, seeking solace in the silent expanse. A gentle breeze whispers through the leaves, carrying the scent of olives and the weight of the world's sins. The ethereal glow of the moon casts long shadows, amplifying the solitude and the gravity of the moment. In the stillness of Gethsemane, the fate of humanity hangs in the balance, reflected in his sorrowful eyes. Torches cast long, dancing shadows across Pilate's courtyard, their light painting the ancient stones with fear. The air vibrates with nervous energy, thick with the murmur of Roman soldiers. Flickering flames reflect in the steely armor, each glint a silent testament to Roman power. In the heart of the chaos, Peter stands, his face a mask of inner turmoil. The weight of the moment presses down on him, a crossroads where faith and fear collide. This is Peter's moment of truth, a trial by fire in the heart of the Roman Empire. Sunlight pierces the Praetorium's high windows, illuminating dust and Roman might. On the dais, Pontius Pilate's face remains a mask, his thoughts hidden. Before him stands a gaunt figure, radiating an undeniable presence. Roman guards stand motionless, spears gleaming, their vigilance absolute. The Praetorium is silent, but for the soft whisper of history. Tension hangs thick, a palpable weight in the sunlit chamber. Under a relentless sun, Golgotha stretches a barren tableau of rock and despair. Upon the cross, Jesus hangs, embodying profound suffering with a haunting, quiet dignity. The air is heavy, thick with sorrow, and the weight of unspoken grief. Silence blankets the scene, amplifying the gravity of the moment. A sob pierces the stillness, a lone sound of anguish in the face of ultimate sacrifice. Pale dawn light graces the ancient tomb, its stones weathered by time and secrets. The heavy stone slab groans as it's pushed aside, the echo of ages resounding. Darkness spills forth from the tomb's mouth, a silent promise of mysteries untold. The tomb stands open, a stark contrast between the light of dawn and the shadows within. Under the radiant Galilean sun, a panoramic vista unfolds, the air crisp and the sky a boundless azure. The rugged mountains stand sentinel, their ancient slopes bathed in golden light. This is the landscape of destiny, the stage for a moment of profound calling. The scene pulsates with unspoken promise, a pivotal moment hanging in the clear air. A sense of purpose descends, as vast and encompassing as the landscape itself. Marcus departs Jerusalem, the city receding behind him, a symbol of his past life. The harsh lines of his face soften, reflecting the profound encounter that has reshaped his soul. A new dawn breaks in his eyes, replacing the coldness that once defined his gaze. The weight of the law lifts from his shoulders, replaced by a sense of liberating understanding. He walks with a newfound purpose, the landscape mirroring his inner transformation. Each step away from Jerusalem marks a step closer to his enlightened destiny.